I don't have any American education at all. I have never even for a day sat in an American classroom, but I'm an attorney. I'm licensed to practice immigration in all 50 states in the US, and I have my own law firm. My name is Akua Ohenetwene Aboagye, but most people know me as AK Poku. So I have 2 kids and I live together with my family, my husband and my 2 kids here in Northern Virginia. I've been in the US since 2016. When I was relocating from Ghana, I knew that once I got here, I wanted to also practice law. And I had read a lot about what it took to actually get the license, which will give me the permission to practice in the US. So when I was coming, I had all the documents that I would need to be able to start the process. So once I got here, I applied to the New York Board of Law Examiners because I wanted to write the New York bar exam. And then I sent them my transcripts and documents from Ghana because I went to law school in Ghana. So I did my undergrad in University of Ghana. I did psychology and French. And then after that, I did law school in the Faculty of Law at the University of Ghana, Legon for 2 years. And then after, I proceeded to go to Makola for an extra 2 years at the bar at Makola. And then, I got my certificate to practice in Ghana. So I used all those credentials. I submitted them to New York. And then they approved me to sit the bar exam. So I decided to become an immigration lawyer because after I got my bar, I tried to apply to several jobs. At the time, I was a stay-home mom. I had a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. And I applied to several jobs and people were not organizations were not calling me. I don't know if it was because of my name or my educational background. And so my dad first suggested that I set up my own law practice. I was hesitant because it's a very, very, very tough endeavor. I spoke with a couple of mentors and they encouraged me. And once I decided I wanted to serve immigrants because I was an immigrant myself and I wanted to help immigrants to register their trademark, also do an aspect of immigration law. But I quickly realized that the immigrants I wanted to serve had not reached that level of actualization. Most of them did not own businesses because they were still grappling and struggling with, work permits, green cards, or whatever. So I realized that I had to shift my focus to meet them where the need was. And, based on the misinformation and miseducation, a lot of immigrants find themselves in trouble. So I wanted to help educate the Ghanaian community as well as other immigrant communities on immigration law and, try to help them with their immigration situation. So my clients come from all around the world. So I have clients in Jamaica, Kenya, Nigeria, Korea, Japan, Sweden, Ukraine, Afghanistan, China. I have clients all around, and yeah, I work with them as well as Ghanaians. That kind of also informs why I have modernized my law practice because I've moved towards a more virtual practice, so you won't find big law books in my office or papers or whatever because we've set up a cloud-based system, wherever my clients are in the world, they can submit information, they can communicate with us, they can, submit documents, they can sign, and we can render legal service to them right in the comfort of their homes. And I can't say how many cases I've won, but my law firm has a very high success rate. If you come to the US on a B2 visa, that visa in and of itself is a non-immigrant type of visa. It means that you're here temporarily for pleasure or for visit. So once you come here, the law requires that you have to depart at the end of your stay. Otherwise you no longer have permission to be here, because once you remain and you overstay, then you become an undocumented immigrant and it becomes very difficult to try to adjust your status or get a green card. So there are lots of people, I speak to them and they've been set back 30 years, 20 years because they overstayed and things got messed up. For some people, they overstayed and things worked out. So, each person has to make the decision for themselves, but you usually have to abide by the period of authorized stay that CBP has issued to you once you come in on a B2 visa. Currently, I've employed 8 people, 5 are full-time workers, and then 3 are part-time workers. Some are Ghanaians, some are Americans, one is a Venezuelan. It feels great to be a business owner in the US, especially in a field like law. You know, people get impressed and shocked when they learn you're not only a lawyer, you're also a law firm owner. And I must also mention that there are just about 4% of blacks who are lawyers in the US, and under 2% of black women make up lawyers in the US. So with all these stats, you can tell that it just feels good to be part of the numbers, even though the numbers are a little discouraging. If you work hard and you play by the rules, you know, you can attain your own version of success. And, you know, success is unique to everyone. You know, people define success very differently. Some Ghanaians or some immigrants think success is even just being able to drive a certain type of car that they would not have been able to drive back home in Ghana, or being able to give their kids a college education, something that they didn't have, or being able to even give themselves an Ivy League education, or being able to build a house back home in Ghana.